Welcome r/EntitledParents. My entitled aunt thinks I work at a store I worked at 4 years ago and demands a discount. To start off, I apologize for any spelling errors, etc. I'm using my phone to type this out, as most late 20 entitled millennials such as myself do. Okay, first off, my aunt is a real bitch. She uses our family for her gain and gives zero fucks about anyone but herself and her image and her friends. She will only talk to us if we have something that she wants. She lives in one of the most expensive parts of Sacramento, while our immediately family all lives and has lived in the same area nearly my mom and aunt's entire lives. She's very entitled and thinks highly of herself. She and her husband and children are the type of people who are always keeping up with the Joneses. She has to be admired and loved from strangers. She scams money out of whoever she can, especially my grandma, which is how she's able to live in such a expensive area and claim packages and not work, or she'll work and immediately quit if someone doesn't like her, smoke weed and hang out all day, while her husband gets drunk and acts like a dick. With that out the way, let me tell you what happened Friday afternoon. I'm the semi-black sheep of my family. I'm not mean. I'm not rude. I don't talk shit. Nor do I socialize much with my family, because I know they don't really like having me around. So no one ever calls or talks about me in regards of how I am or what I'm doing, which is usually nothing. So I was surprised to get a phone call from my aunt, the entitled cunt. I didn't know the number, didn't know at the time how she got my number, but I was waiting on a call from my doctor, so I answered without a second thought. So, I answer, hoping it's my doctor, but I hear my aunt's voice. She and I have never been close. I don't like her. I don't think I've ever liked her. I burned myself as a child because she wouldn't let me have a bath since she was entertaining her friends and getting high, so I went and made myself a bath and burned most of the skin on my legs, thighs and butt off. That's how much I hated her. And her daughter would steal my dolls, toys, whatever she could get her hands on, and she never gave them back, nor would anyone believe me when I'd find my stuff destroyed at their house. Anyway, I answered, and I'm extremely confused when I hear the cunt's voice. She tries to sound all sweet and nice. "Hi, how ya doing? Grandma says you're sick." Yeah, I am. I absolutely hate talking, especially to a cunt on the phone. Okay, she's quiet before she gets to the point as to why she's calling me the one niece she hasn't or couldn't steal or come from. Well, you still work at Party Town, right? My grandson needs a costume for Halloween. I want a discount, or you can sneak one out for me. I kinda just sat there thinking, is this bitch serious? Did she really just say that? Did she ask me for something I cannot do, even if I wanted to, without asking nicely with a please? And did she not know what day it was? The store would be packed to hell with parents who couldn't make more time to get a Halloween costume 6 days before Halloween. What? Are you high? I don't work there. I worked there 4 years ago for like 2 months. Who said I worked there? And why would you think I'd give you a discount or steal for you of all people? I was annoyed to hell and back by being told what someone tells me what I'm going to do. And it's a week before Halloween. There's no costumes left. My aunt let out this weird sound and starts saying something like, "Don't be selfish. Your thieving cousin needs a costume for her son. He's only 3 years old. Are you really going to be a bitch and not get him a costume?" After her little rage, all I can do is just laugh. I had taken some pain meds for my knee, so I'm like kinda loopy and tired and thinking I'm dreaming, and all I do is laugh. I could hear my sticky-fingered cousin chime in calling me a selfish bitch and how she's going to get me fired for stealing. Somehow, they came up with the idea that I steal costumes for my teenage nephews at a job I don't work at because my grandma told them I worked there once 4 years ago during Halloween. She and my cousin are still yelling at me on the phone until I stop laughing. My eyes are closed and I'm on the edge of sleep, and I tell them I don't work there. I haven't worked there in 4 years. I was working with my mom until 2 years ago. You stupid bitches. Got 'em. You guys can't stop coming up with scams and schemes long enough to get facts straight before you call and harass people. You don't listen to grandma tell you about us when you come down asking for money? You ingrates. That's all I remember before I passed out. I woke up Saturday morning with a stiff leg and missed calls and texts from my grandma and aunt. My grandma was apologizing and said she set my aunt straight. But, an hour later, my aunt calls and says, "You can get grandma to lie for you, but I know you're a selfish bitch like your mom, and won't even help out family." I just listened to her, tired as, trying to stretch my leg, and let her go on. I'm going to be in later today for my grandson's costume, and it better be half off or free. Yeah, I would love to see that. But even if I could stand to walk or be in public, I don't care enough to watch her humiliate herself or try and belittle seasonal employees. And the bitch didn't even tell me what costume she was looking for anyway. If I worked there, was I just supposed to grab any toddler costume for her punk ass? I feel bad for the kid, but my aunt is such a fucking bitch and she's hurt my grandma too much for me to even consider helping her or my cousins. Sadly, you're not a pessimist, you're just being realistic. If anything, the fact you think your opinion of how it'll play out is pessimistic makes you an optimist. Because saying it's pessimistic is suggesting there's a chance the aunt won't blame others and make it someone else's fault that they have to deal with, not her. The aunt and her daughter clearly take responsibility for nothing, assume everyone else steals, so they are not doing anything wrong. They also think everyone needs to do stuff for them, otherwise they're selfish. Anything they don't want to hear is a lie. When it all goes wrong, grandma will sort it, or someone will just not them. I mean, they want it half price or free. Even if op worked there, I doubt the discount would be that good. The aunt didn't even ask, because if she worked there she'd use her 5-finger discount, and if it was something for someone else she'd only charge them half price. Because everyone steals, and she's not ripping anyone off, only asking for half price. Believing everyone would do it, or would steal more, and charge more lets her sleep at night guilt-free. She'll never change. What grandma likely said, call her and see if she still works there. She might be able to do an employee discount. What entitled aunt heard, call her. She still works there. She can definitely do an employee discount. The problem with entitled people is that they hear and see their own version of reality that fits with their expectations. They typically don't respect anyone else enough to give them their undivided attention, which means they'll constantly misinterpret anything they're told. They'll just catch bits and pieces of whatever you say to them, and then they'll put those pieces back together in a way that best suits their desires. This makes it incredibly difficult, if not completely impossible, to reason with them. They don't even know that they're lying because they fully believe that their version is the truth. Even if you show them video evidence, they'll typically make excuses or find a way to blame someone else because they literally can't fathom the concept that they could ever be in the wrong. Best thing you can do with people like this is try as hard as you can to keep them out of your life. The sadistic, chaotically evil portion of my brain says that her grandson wants to be My Little Pony for Halloween, complete with sparkle glitter for his hair and pretty makeup on his face. Seeing her face when you give him the costume would be worth the price of the costume alone. Edited to add, you could also send out the grandson as a ghost. All you need is a white robe and a proper ghost hood, you know, the one that looks like a witch's pointy hat. Except it needs to be white and have eye holes cut out. Remember to teach him the universal way that ghosts say hello by point to the moon with their palm flat and arms straight. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, hit like. If you would like to see more, feel free to subscribe.